Creativity and creative thinking are tremendous, but we've all experienced times when we have needed to wrestle through some or all of the process. With that in mind, we've designed the Creative Wrestle to be a space to learn, reflect, and steal from a broad range of like-hearted creatives. We speak with artists, entrepreneurs, musicians, production directors, strategists, storytellers, and many more on their inspirational and unique approaches to the creative process. This is the Creative Wrestle with Lauren and Renee.
This episode is brought to you by Brown Fox Creative House. Brown Fox Creative House helps founders and brands turn big ideas into unforgettable impact. They take a holistic approach, blending strategy, storytelling, and data-driven creativity to launch brands, lead culture, and inspire action. With people and emotion at the centre, Brown Fox Creative House creates work that moves audiences to action. Go say hi on socials at Brown Fox Creative House or visit brownfox.com.au.
Lauren Hollyock and Claire Dennis are high school drama teachers and theatre makers, dedicated to bringing bold and imaginative productions that explore the preservation of traditional forms and the reimagining of classic texts for contemporary audiences. They played tag team in their careers for a moment through various rounds of maternity leave. When Claire was fresh in mother territory, Lauren secured her in a vulnerable moment and locked in a teaching partnership that is still going strong after 5 years. The Dennis and Hollyock show has grown in its eccentricities, but the fruit of collaboration has been that two heads are mostly better than one. Each in their own right has cut their teeth on full-scale musicals, Lauren with Beauty and the Beast, Matilda and Romeo and Juliet, and Claire with The Wiz, Peter Pan, Singing in the Rain, and Annie. Together they collaborated on Godspell and The Government Inspector, as well as creative journeys extending beyond the stage into film projects and original devised works that span circus, interactive murder mysteries, and other innovative performance forms. Their practice is anchored in the love of storytelling and a belief that theatre should not only entertain, but also transform and inspire. I'm Renee O'Duco, and I'm joined, as always, by Lauren O'Duco.
Hello. Yes, happy to be here. Very excited. We're joined today by Lauren Hollyock and Claire Dennis. I've known you both for around the 20-year mark, give or take. Claire, we went from locker neighbours in year 12. Sorry about that. All those times I hit you in the head with my door. I know that was a thing for a while. Spatial awareness has never been my thing. So we went from locker buddies to desk buddies as teachers in the same arts department of the same high school. And Lauren, you've known Renee and I for many years. I think,
Yes.
when did we first meet?
Oh, I don't know.
I think you were a prac teacher at my
I would
high
have
school.
probably been a prac teacher. No, but a little bit before then. We're trying to work out we were on an arts team and where that's at. So I'm not
Emanate.
happened before, after. Yeah, that's right. But I did know you when I was prac teacher.
Yeah, 20 years ago, or almost 20 years ago.
Yeah,
But many of my favourite opportunities have happened because you've roped me into them. So it's time I got you back. Welcome to our podcast.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yes.
So we'll set the scene for our listeners. You're both drama teachers, storytellers. You primarily work with high schoolers. Can you talk a bit about the unique elements of directing within this context?
Yeah, okay. So that's a big one. It is unique because obviously we've got to think about our clientele, not just our students, but whoever is coming to see the show. And that's, if we're looking at our main stage shows, that demographic sits all the way from, our little preppies to grandmas. So if it's in that main stage sort of arena, we need something that is a bums on seats sort of show that's, I guess, I wouldn't say that's not offensive, and that is going to be fast enough that you can connect your audience, but very different when we're in our arts excellence space. We can be a little bit more niche in that environment and can choose the sort of media stuff.
Yes. And I think, you're working with young people who are still very much developing their craft or who are here for a good time. And so taking all of those students at different stages of their journey through to a show is different from working with a smaller group of people who are all at a very similar stage of craft development and ability. So both contexts have different demands.
Yeah,
And they're
that's all.
balancing
Yeah,
school. They're balancing school in the mix of that. They're
Yeah.
balancing extra commitments.
Part-time jobs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the hustle.
So how do you, when you're doing the larger scale ones, how do you maintain stamina, enthusiasm, and energy for long periods of time, both staff and students, when your project spans many months?
Yeah.
I think that you have to get very good at taking people on the journey. And
Yeah.
so there needs to be an initial buy-in from the students into the story. So not just in the come and have a great experience
Yeah.
of being in a show, a buy-in into why the story is important, why you're important to tell this story and be a part of this process. And then it's having an understanding of the natural ebbs and flows and waves of enthusiasm.
Yeah.
That, somewhere in the in sort of a third of it, in the middle, there's a massive drop off of
Yeah.
enthusiasm, and it's hard. It's a slump, and it is
Mm.
a total slog.
Mm.
And it can be very hard to take one step forward, two steps backwards. But so as the director, you have to keep that perspective and be honest, but still careful.
Like hold the bigger picture.
Yeah, hold the big picture so that
Yeah.
you keep people off the journey. And that is the same for the staff team as well.
Yeah.
Knowing how to encourage them, how to keep them going, how to know that at the end, the delayed gratification of it all is going to be really good, but how to tap into their artistry,
Yeah.
how to pull it out.
Yeah. And we had that. We had that especially when we took on Matilda. That was right in the whole COVID craziness. Well, actually, it was the year after. It was 2021, and our show was supposed to start August. It always starts around the Eka season, which is a great time to do that. It's all the craziness, but when is there a good time in the school calendar? So we usually hit start around that period. That's when our show week is. And I think it was about a few weeks before where they went into another lockdown.
Yeah.
And we had students that had gone to a university and they were going to need to quarantine for X amount of time. And then it just sort of things just kept going off like major spider webbing.
Yeah.
And then that meant that we had to postpone our show until October, which is huge because it means then like grade 12s, they're approaching external assessment. So their mind mentally, they want to shift into that zone.
Yeah.
Your staff are fatigued. So you have to obviously just boots in, get that morale happening. And that was a really big challenge. But I don't know. I look at it and I go, it pays off. And like you said, you've got to hold the bigger picture. And because we had that time, we were afforded the ability to be more meticulous and to get all of those finer details. And that's what you keep going back to the students. And
You were mentioning about your staff morale as well. How do you encourage each other? Do you see it coming in each other that you need a bit of a boost? And then what do you do kind of outside the hours to rest, play, reset, ready for those tougher moments?
I think you naturally sort of talk about where your wins are happening in the show, and we try to, and we're not great at it because you're busy, but you try to get around to the various departments as well. I think if all you do is say, I want these jobs done, and you're not actually boots on the ground, walking into their space and seeing what they're doing, then you're not paying attention, you're not showing that you care. And I think all creatives, they want that. They want that collaboration. They feel like the work they're doing is good. Like I don't know. I know, Lauren, like you helped us out with Matilda and painted amazing things for us. So thank you so much for doing that. But
I was part of a big team.
You were part of a big team, absolutely. But
2.0, I believe. Is this
2.0.
what we refer to? Yeah.
Yes,
Okay.
she is. It is her name. So yes, she's 2.0 because this is where I think our friendship hit a new level because
Matilda?
it was around the iPhone. The iPhone 2 was getting released or something. I don't know. Something happened. When was iPhone 2?
I don't know.
I'm not sure. But I just
Take us deeper, Lauren. Take us deeper.
It came because everything that I can do, Lauren can do better.
It's not true.
It's real. The struggles. This is the creative wrestle.
Yes.
Having Lauren. And
It's not true.
Yeah.
But I will say, Lauren is
very inspiring.
the biggest encourager. So if you're ever
Yeah.
feeling down,
Yeah.
just walk into a space where Lauren can first of all give you a fright, and then
Yeah. Get the adrenaline up and then get the happies up.
You'll feel great.
Yeah, it's
But,
given.
yeah,
See, that's probably part of it
I
for you
think it
guys. Is the
Yeah.
the jolt up out of the tough
Yeah.
stuff. You know.
Well, you have to have a little bit of fun, and we
Yeah,
have
it's good.
definitely learnt a lot of that from one of our other partners that we work with,
Yeah.
Gaydeen Parkin. She's amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
she just has fun all the time. Even
Yeah.
when we were doing Matilda, she came up with this idea of they're essentially sort of like the Russian, what are they called?
Mafia.
They are the mafia, right?
Yeah.
They come
I
in
thought
and-
you meant the dolls that go inside of each
No,
other.
no,
but
no,
that's
no,
a
not the
different-
Russian dolls.
That's a different. Yeah.
But they come on at the end of the show, and Gaydeen had this idea. She's like, they need to come on with the musical instrument cases because that's where they used to hide their guns. And so I'm like, no, Gaydeen, we're not doing that. Like,
Yeah.
that's not happening. And then it came, I think, closing night, and lo and behold, this guy walks across the stage with the musical
Violin
instrument, a big
case.
violin case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's not even her craziest prank. I
No,
know that this
no.
is digressing.
digress.
But we will
All
digress.
the way. Go all the way.
So last year,
Mm.
we put on Romeo and Juliet. It was a big feat, and
It was so good.
Thank you. We engaged with a fight combat director who pieced together. We collaborated with her to piece together this really meaty scene where
Yeah.
it kind of culminated at the end where they were on top of this huge cube that rotated. So lots of moving parts.
Wow.
2 meters off the ground.
2 meters off the ground. And there's Mercutio and Tybalt that are engaged in this really, really full-on moment of combat. And Gaydeen had we're practicing this. It had gotten to a point where it was looking smooth, but unbeknownst to us, she
and
had
safe.
and
It
safe
was looking
and safe. I
safe.
should say that it was looking safe. We don't do anything silly in a school environment.
Yeah.
Gaydeen had given a student a blood capsule.
Ooh.
And so this fight is taking place, and then
Oh, so this is unscripted blood.
this is
capsule.
unscripted. We don't know
Okay.
that this is happening. So, well, we're going to practice it with it at some point,
Yeah.
but we don't know that it's going to happen now. But Gaydeen thought, hey, now's a good time to
Boost morale.
and and scare our directors.
Yeah.
And so she sets up the student with the blood capsule. So this fight takes place. He turns around and has what
Oh, man.
looks like blood pouring out,
Yeah.
like through his nose everywhere. And the first thought you have is, I'm going to lose my job. Like, this is it.
His poor
Yeah.
mum.
This is the nail in the coffin for me right now. And then they
Where's that
just,
violin case?
Yeah.
they just start roaring with laughter. But yeah,
So
I
good.
think you can't take yourselves too seriously.
Yeah.
And you need to have those moments that build your relationship with your staff.
And I think that something that
students.
Gaydeen Parkin and the wider Parkin family have really invested into us is the importance of the process. And so
Yeah.
if you have a really, really strong and healthy process, the product takes care of itself.
Yeah.
And so
great.
she has very
love
intentionally,
that.
through everything we've done,
Yeah.
come along and mentored us and reminded us about the stuff in the background, the
Yeah.
process, and taking care of the team and the students and the staff. But through little moments like this, when it's getting tense,
And you need just that pressure valve to
To-
be released a little bit. And
yeah.
yeah.
And her avenue is a little bit of pranking.
Yeah.
But
We
yes.
talk about this too, Lauren and I, about our two sides of the coin being more of an artistic expression and my side being the rigor. And I think once you've got the rigor in place, then you can go a little
It
bit more
releases-
wild.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. So on relationship, you two are obviously, talented professionals in your own right, but at work, you're very much two halves of a whole. Talk about what that's like.
It's great.
It's great. It's great. It's really
How
great.
did you get there?
It's fantastic.
No, I think, well, it's definitely evolved over
Yes.
time.
Yep.
So it sort of all started. We've tag teamed a bit. I started at the school that we're at, and then Claire took over when I went on mat leave. And then when she went on mat leave, we sort of going for a walk one day, and came up with the idea that we would job share.
Yeah.
And I think because we've been in each other's space so much and our work ethic is very similar,
Yeah.
it's afforded us to kind of look at, well, what are the I guess like heroing each other's majors and minors, and
Yes.
knowing we have the things in common that we need to have in common,
Yes.
in that we do have we pursue heavily a strong creative outcome,
Yeah.
and
Amazing.
we work hard to get there. We work hard to get there, and we don't just put our name to anything.
Yeah.
We are intentional about what we choose, and I think our attitude is very yes, and let's do this. You have this idea, yeah, okay, I'll build on that.
Yes.
Or in this moment, you are the director in the space. I'll come along and I'll support that, and vice versa.
Yes. Yeah, and so the practical outworkings of that are a huge amount of communication.
Yeah.
But that has built a really lovely friendship, and that
Mhm.
always is there, but it's really, I guess, deepens that aspect. It's a lot of phone calls
Yeah.
that are
That our
you know,
husbands are totally happy about.
yeah, abruptly shut off.
Like, I've
you
got to
know.
go.
Yeah.
Someone's fallen in the bath.
Oh, Pete.
So there's a lot of that half-finished conversations that are carried over
Yeah.
to other days, or we jokingly call it between ourselves the stage 5 clinger phone call. You're just ringing with one thing,
But it's so important.
It's very
Can't wait.
immediately important. Can't
Yeah.
wait. Yes, and so that's, I guess, all of the back end stuff. We are quite involved in each other's lives. It's not just communication around what we're doing with students. It's, we know where each other's at in the rest of
Yeah.
everything. The motherhood, the home life, the everything journey. And so that very foundational friendship means that there's no ego between us.
Yeah.
There's no competition between us.
Mm.
That it's very much, as Lauren said, the yes and yes. How can we make that work?
Yeah.
And that's being able to be outworked in front of students for 5 years now, and they see us when we don't agree on things, but how we come to an agreement about something.
Yeah.
And ultimately, we're always working towards the same end goal. We might have different ideas about how we could get there, but there's never because both of us have a very strong desire for an excellent outcome, and we know that each other is an artist in their own right. You can see when the idea is going to work.
Yeah.
And so, of course, that's a better idea. It doesn't matter that it's yours
Yeah.
or not mine. It's
Yeah.
let's keep going with that.
Yeah.
Or what if this happened next?
Yeah.
And
I think it doesn't feel like
No.
my idea.
no,
Like, I don't feel like I can separate, like, that
No.
was my idea, that was your idea.
no.
Because you are constantly working with each other.
Yeah, and it also means that we're very we're able to be very honest with each other's feedback in the space. So if
Yeah.
something's not quite landing,
Yeah.
then the other person jumps in very quickly and
It's
has a
I don't like that.
hey, yeah,
Let's-
or
yeah.
or even just go,
Yeah.
I don't know that it's communicating what we want it to communicate, and try to problem solve together, things
Yeah.
like that. So because all of that happens in the rehearsal, or so much of it happens in the rehearsal space in front of students as well, that's been a really exciting byproduct
Yeah.
of the friendship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think that's so interesting what you're saying is because it's not just about let's get to the goal together, but I think it's so important for those who we're leading and encouraging that they see that there can be creative differences
Yes.
and there is a way to kind of process it through. Can you unpack that a little bit more for us? Like maybe a practical example of like maybe something that you've both come at it at different ways and they're both equally good ideas. How have you kind of wrestled through the final choice?
Well, I mean, it's probably sounds beige, vanilla,
Mm.
whatever. I don't feel like there is this definitive moment
No.
where I really disagreed with you on this, or
No, no,
I
no.
really whatever.
Yeah.
We don't have an example like that. I know I keep talking about Matilda. We could talk about the other stuff
Yeah.
that we've done. I remember when we were doing the discipline scene.
Yes. That's
And
what I was going to say.
oh well, okay.
Yes.
But that was huge, and we had to try a lot of things, and we had to try it
Okay.
with the kids,
Yeah.
and that's vulnerable doing that. But I
Yeah.
remember, when you feel like you have this out of body experience, going, this is good that they can see how uncomfortable we are in working out what the right thing is, and
Yeah.
knowing that we might actually fall on our face and
Yeah.
not get it today.
Yeah.
I just think, like, I don't know, Claire is better at counting things than I am, so like, I feel like my rhythm is not like, if you're gonna bring me in to bring the beat in, I'm sorry, but your party's over. But
But that is part of it. It's knowing the strengths.
knowing the best, yes. So they got to a point where I'm like, oh, I've got these ideas about like what I want them to do physically, but it's not executing. And I feel like you were just really good then at going, okay, we just need this order. We need to count out this moment. We need to and treating it like it's choreography.
I think that where someone has for probably more logistical reasons needed to be the major, so where Lauren is actually the director of Matilda and I come in as the AD, then if we both come with these creative ideas for something and there's a disagreement, like it's Lauren, like Lauren gets the final say. That is a privilege that's afforded one.
Yeah.
And so there have been I don't know, a handful of ones that are not memorable at all, but where you just go, where two ideas have come out, we could track either one of them. They're not necessarily better than the other.
Yeah.
And then it's generally been deferred to whoever's sort of playing a little bit more of the major or
lead.
between us has been the one who's decided. And the other person's like, great, whatever, fantastic.
Yeah. Well, I remember even when we were doing the government inspector, I was like, yes.
Yes.
I can just I could come with some ideas and but not, you're not carrying as much of the weight, but you don't want to leave your buddy hanging either.
Yeah.
So you want to do well and you want to bring everything forward. So I don't know.
Yeah. There's so much trust in that relationship that you can just take those risks and I think it's a really beautiful thing to watch.
Aww.
And even I'm picking it up that you've obviously created a space for collaboration that's what we would call psychologically safe.
Yeah.
You may not term it that, but you've enabled a space between you that you can be vulnerable and take risks and hear each other's feedback, which they're invaluable lessons for other people to be viewing in real time. Like this is not scripted. We're not sort of but Can you unpack that a little bit more, just this collaboration that you've built? So it sounds like you like to define roles. That's really helpful to kind of defer to the other person. Is there anything else that you'd want to add in on collaboration?
Well, I think your organization has to be really, really good. I mean, you're dealing with family life. You are obviously where our bread and butter is that we are teachers.
Yes.
So all of this stuff happens on as the extra. So you have to be really mindful of everyone's time.
Yeah.
And so when you even though we do have those stage 5 clinger calls and we do
Yeah.
that, we do try to sort of be considerate
Yeah.
of other people.
Yeah.
But I think it's so much of what Claire has, what you sort of said already, in that because we talk so much,
Yes.
because we're in each other's space so much, it allows for the incidental idea to come out.
Yeah.
It
Yes.
allows
Yes.
for I had this idea about this at 3 a.m. I'm not calling Claire at 3 a.m. I'm not that
No.
crazy. Yeah, I don't know. It means that we've got this, we understand that the project happens always in the background, and that
Yeah.
there's a part of our brain that just ruminates on that.
Yeah.
And because we both think like that,
Yeah.
it affords you the ability to pick up always the
Yeah.
idea and run with it.
I think also because we have a very clear we understanding of everything else that the other person carries,
Yeah.
and we know the infrastructures that are in place in the other person's lives, the boundaries that are in place in
Yeah.
the other person's lives. Once we have committed to something and we're all in,
Yeah.
and we've set time aside to work through something, like it is a hustle on what we're working. You just jump in and keep working, and the thing keeps brewing.
Yeah.
So I think that just knowing that you have to keep it going,
Yeah.
Show
means
must
that
go
there
on.
isn't
Yeah.
there isn't time to do nothing.
Mm.
And it's much more fun. It's much easier. We're both fairly kinesthetic people
Yeah.
to try the ideas
Yeah.
and to explore the ideas out before they hit the students.
And I think a lot of that is also we both went through QUT just
Yeah.
at different stages, not
Yeah.
to do this is not a sponsorship or anything like that.
Yeah.
This episode is brought to you by
It's probably
QUT.
brought to you by QUT, and we're
Yes.
featured to alumni.
Yes.
No, no, it's not about that at all. But we had similar
Yes.
experiences there, similar, I don't know, belief systems around performance, and that
Yeah,
you
yeah.
saying that about kinesthetic
Yeah.
awareness, like you would have probably studied. We did the movement unit. We worked through physical theatre, which is heavily based back on. It's not like going back to your child self, not like that, but it is about trusting your instincts and doing it, because so much of what we did as children,
Yeah.
we would just play. Everything was
That's it.
play-based learning, and you give it
Yeah.
a go and you
Yeah.
pretend, and what is real and what's not, it doesn't actually matter.
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter
And
if
no one's embarrassed when you're a
no
kid,
one's embarrassed when you're a kid.
right?
Yeah.
I think too that one of the beautiful things about working with high school students and teenagers is we see them in all of the really awkward, tricky stages where you just want them to try something.
Yeah.
And so because we spend all day, every day, all day, every working day,
Yeah.
trying to get students to try things and take risks, we're very conscious of showing them how to do it and how to fail and how they're
That's
it's
right.
totally fine if that's
Wow.
it. What a
That's
terrible
so-
idea that was.
Yeah, or even try, like going, I want you to try it like this, and then we say it and it sounds atrocious. And you're like,
let's try something different. So I think, and to have the benefit of there being two people in space doing that and giving the real time feedback on how it's working is a layer of collaboration that we're very aware of. So we try to model, and now it's so second nature, but model for them what we actually want them to do for us, and how we want them to work with each other is how we actually have to show them, because so much of their lives they don't see this, they don't get this togetherness.
especially now, like kids these days.
Yeah.
You know, they have so much more opposition than what we had.
Absolutely.
They are living behind a filter with everything, and if you say something in real life, this might have an effect on your online world. And I don't know. I think all those opportunities to be in the real space and see that it's actually okay if something falls on its face, or if you look like an idiot, because everyone's so introspective anyway. We're all worried about what we look like. Pushing past that is really important.
So it sounds like you've got high commitment to each other, high commitment to the goals. How many projects have you actually worked on together, and has there been a highlight?
Ooh, okay. we've worked on a few.
We have done a few.
What have we done? We've done Matilda, Godspell, Romeo and Juliet. We've done 2 bouts of Government Inspector.
Yeah.
We've done a
on
lot
that,
yeah.
that was a work of art last year. They actually did it wasn't even a cameo. You were full blown.
Oh, I've seen this
characters.
on socials. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, it was so good.
I feel like sitting on stools or something.
Yes,
Is
Yes.
yes, that's it.
Yeah.
That's the image.
It's basically the worst thing that you can do as a drama teacher.
It is. It
Is
is.
to say, yeah, I'm going to be so self-indulgent that I'm going
Yes.
to act with you.
But
Yeah.
everyone enjoyed it.
Actors.
Yeah, those that can't do teach, but here we are.
We are
Um,
acting.
Yeah, no, that was.
I
that
feel
was
like it was just it was Lauren and Claire, but on steroids. Like your characters, it was like
Yes.
you had that beautiful duo bouncing back and just
We
Yes.
were so Renee, for your insight.
and for the listeners.
Anyone else wanting to listen? So Government Inspector, we contextualized it. So where was it originally set? It was
Russian.
Russian.
Russia
Yeah.
in the 1700s.
In the 1700s, but we thought that's not really applicable for today. Let's base it in Wongalpong,
Yeah.
in this outback sort of country town in
Is
Australia.
that like Wagga Wagga?
Australia,
Are
yeah.
you? Is that where that
picture
word?
it,
Yeah,
picture it,
yeah.
guys,
I'm
picture
picturing Wagga Wagga.
There's not a great population, and there's probably more tumbleweeds going past than there
Yeah.
are people.
Yeah.
And so, do you want to set the context because this was your
I
baby,
do.
and then we'll
Yeah.
continue
So 1970s, but a small town where, because it's a small town, everybody is an important role in the town, and they all wear multiple hats, and they all have
Yes.
multiple responsibilities to keep the town afloat.
Mm.
But corruption is rife.
Like the principal is the head of the hospital, where
Yeah.
Also, diddle dabble.
also running the pub
Yes, as a side hustle,
as
that
a side
kind of thing.
hustle. Yeah.
And is married to the mayor, and the postie reads everybody's mail before it gets passed on. So they hear the essence of the story is they hear a rumor that someone is coming, a government inspector is coming to their town. They are so aware of how corrupt everything is that they think that they need to massively clean it up, and they actually think that he's already here. So then they commit to trying to impress this guy, and the punchline in the end is that it's a case of mistaken identity, and the person that they've been trying to impress is a con artist, and he runs off with all of their money and everything like that.
Oh, it almost sounds like Dirty Rotten Scoundrels. Have you know this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very similar sort of plot line. So
Yeah.
we and this circles back to how we choose a show for students at a student level. This particular show had taken us quite a while to decide with this group of year 12s what they wanted to do.
Because they always have an end show that they that is part of their graduation. Sometimes it's multiple films, sometimes it is.
We've done circus,
Yeah,
we've done other
This
plays.
is Excellence Group.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And so with this particular group, the play was going to be a really good fit for them. It did take them a little while initially to buy into it, but we had 2 leftover characters that we couldn't
Amazing.
Into Lauren and Claire.
into anybody else. And so we said,
How unfortunate.
how unfortunate. We said to them,
Oh, there's been a counting error.
Yeah, we're not
"I'm
math
so
teachers.
sorry."
Let's drop the ball with accounting.
Yeah, exactly. We could do these.
Yeah, just an idea. Path back if you need.
These very minor, but no small
No,
acting.
sorry.
no
They
small
weren't
parts,
minor roles. We were Prue and Sue from CWA, Country Women's Association.
Oh, I grew up with these type of people.
yeah,
Yes.
you know. Yeah,
Country Victoria for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we please have a sample? Can we have a demo? Is that hard on the spot? Do you want us to pause recording?
I don't even remember our
The lines
lines.
are gone.
They've gone. They've
Oh,
just
no. It's like cramming for an exam.
Is
Yes.
Prue and Sue like
It's intentional,
Uh,
yes.
the ladies on Kath and Kim who work
Yes,
in the.
Kath and
yes.
Kim.
This is what I'm like.
Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
prayer. Isn't that this?
Yes,
So,
yes,
so
yes.
there was the mayor obviously wants to be in on all of the things that we do as part of the CWA,
Yeah.
and was trying to bring her scones into the equation, and
Yeah.
that was very sort of uproarious. Like, don't be
Absolutely.
ridiculous, doll. You know.
Yes.
But anyways,
You're reliving it.
I've
Yeah,
got
you're
nothing.
loving
It's
it.
not
Yeah, I'm enjoying
coming.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
coming. It's
Yeah.
died.
Yeah.
We might
She
bring
had
her
her
back.
time in the sun.
She had a time in the sun.
Yeah.
She might come back. Who knows?
Yeah.
In another
That's
way.
great.
So
That was I
fun.
did distract everybody from you were talking about how many shows you have done together, the two of you.
So we've done a few.
So
Basically.
you got to Government Spectre. I think it was second on the list, and then I threw us off course.
So Romeo and Juliet, Matilda, Godspell, 2 rounds of the Government Inspector, and then some more smaller showcasey type of
Yeah.
performances with
So
the
we did
arts. Excellent.
circus.
Yes.
So there, we devised a show with Volcana. They're amazing.
We've done quite a lot of film work, mostly during COVID and post-COVID.
Yeah.
With
Because in that time you have to pivot because
yeah,
you know what audience sizes will we have? So we worked with alumni in that space as well.
yeah,
Did a few cameos there as also.
yeah.
just to show them.
Extra roles again.
But these were a little bit more extra background.
Yeah, like Morna number 1, Morna number 2, like not
Yeah.
like they didn't have names, so don't worry. We're
Yeah.
not that
Have
indulgent.
you ever been an extra in their show, Lauren?
Have I been an extra in one of your shows? No, I don't think so.
No, but
Missed
but
opportunities.
you
Yep.
tagged yourself in the graffiti.
Yes,
I
already.
did, yeah.
So
That's true. I did.
You have
I've
been.
actually, yes, I've inserted myself into a couple of your things. So I did tag myself into the graffiti on the stage piece for
Yes.
Romeo and Juliet,
Yes.
but I also wrote Oduko on the spine of one of the books.
Yes.
that
Yes.
I-
So it could have been
Picture
me
from
actually.
Matilda.
Then it could have been.
You, yeah.
Yeah, it was
You
your
presented the
art.
whole
We should do.
plan.
Yeah, all of us. The tree, the Aduka tree.
You're right. So no, they didn't invite me. I just put myself in there.
I think that's the
I'm
spirit
sorry.
of what we're talking about tonight, though. Like,
Yeah.
if there's a gap,
Missed
jump on
opportunity.
in.
Do you know what? I'm
Yes.
looking forward to, whatever happens in the future. All I'm
Yes.
hearing is that you're keen
I'm
and
keen.
you want to be a part of
Very
whatever things look like in
I'm vola choosing her.
Yes, I love
Yeah.
that. I love it.
Speaking of Romeo and Juliet, I loved your interpretation of it. We've all seen multiple versions of Romeo and Juliet. Yours was very fresh. Can you describe for everyone the fresh spin that you put on it?
Sure. Well, we set it sort of in the 90s. Wanted it to be sort of fairly gritty. Our objective for that show is that we wanted students to, I don't know, see themselves in the same that these problems that happen, even if the language sounds different, it's universal. It keeps happening. We still deal with unforgiveness. We still deal with what is unrequited love, what is things that separate you. So we wanted that to be known. I guess we both really love the trickiness of reusing set pieces and things being seen in different ways. So we wanted a set that was going to be versatile for that, hence why we came up with, basically we had Your Beautiful tagging on a platform at the front, which really set that grunge tone, and then had a moving staircase and a giant cube 2 meters high where the famous blood scene happened from before. So we would use that to sort of house the various locations that are in Romeo and Juliet. Yeah, so I look at it and I go, we worked with Gaydeen as well. So we wanted things that you could basically understand that at the core of all of this, it's kind of like gang culture.
Yeah.
Where in gang culture, you are so enmeshed in that you would do anything for your gang and you would do stupid things in the heat of the moment. And that's the core of Romeo and Juliet. And not just Romeo, not just Juliet. It's
It's all of
It's
them.
all of them.
Yeah.
In the heat of a moment, you do silly things, and a gang culture is that on steroids. It shows what desperation looks like.
Yeah.
So we sort of chose to house it in that. And I think the students, I guess, like the 90s isn't too far away from them.
Amen. That's right. Yes.
But yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
it was just yes.
Say it again for those in the back.
And the music is cool.
The music,
Like
yes.
you know, Gangster's Paradise. You
Yeah,
had a lot of
Yeah.
Yeah. So
really cool music
we
choices.
used Gangster's Paradise as our sort of
Musical
musical
theme.
motif.
Yep.
Yes. That we use sort of different versions as
Mm.
we went along, right up to that sort of instrumentation when Juliet is taken to rest, basically. So we wanted to have those beautiful moments of symbolism. But it was a huge, huge project.
We spent months rewriting and reducing
Yeah.
the text and collapsing roles, going back and forth, triple checking that the choices that we were making did actually make sense.
And you're not
Yeah.
losing the
Yeah.
integrity of the characters. We're seeing enough of a development
That's it. Yeah.
happening.
Yeah. And if this chunk is cut out, does that whole part of the story down there make sense?
Yeah.
If we need to leave this in, how do we maintain the pace of the show? We wanted it to sit at about 90 minutes with no intermission so that it felt
Wow.
impulsive for an audience.
Yeah.
That's
Uh,
great.
It's that whole feeling of like, again, we want this grounded in gang culture. We want
Yeah.
it grounded in desperation, that things are happening in a stupidly quick
Yeah.
time frame.
Yeah.
So
It's intense. Very intense.
let's make
Yes.
the script that
Yes.
for a modern audience.
Yes.
We're not going to make them sit through 2.5 hours
No.
of
Mm.
Shakespeare because they don't need to. We
Yeah.
want something different there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Shakespeare, like the language is so tricky for,
Yeah.
for teenagers to, I
Yeah.
mean, not just to memorize, but to understand. How did you unlock that? How did you make that real for them?
Well, I think we started by not using Shakespeare at all.
Mm.
But by looking at scenarios and getting them to actually buy into the scenarios first.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that it became more of a morality issue of what would you do? How would you feel? Who do you side with? Who's right? Who's wrong? So that they were, even in the beginning stages, not fighting with each other, but like, how do you think this? I think that this person should,
Yeah.
and just getting them to have that healthy debate, so that they saw it as, I don't know, something that they could invest in and move beyond. And I think, I don't know, there's so many great examples of contemporary works, contemporary interpretations of Shakespeare happening now
Yeah.
that you can also show them examples and see how,
Yeah.
okay, you can see them in modern day clothing. How do you connect with that? How do you see that could be your story or something you could struggle with, or what does it feel like for you? So we definitely did that. We did a lot of love them, but I think we did a lot of homework for them
Yes.
as well.
Yes.
So we paraphrased everything,
Wow.
basically the whole
Yeah.
script. And we did obviously encourage them to do that as well. We want them to do their homework, but as a teacher and in that space and the deadline that you're working with,
Yeah.
you don't have the time to go, if you haven't done your work, that's okay. We'll just like make our way through a 4-hour rehearsal and
Yeah.
I'll do the work on the spot.
No.
So
Yeah.
very
And you've got competing priorities, haven't you, with
Yes.
students, which
Yeah.
is different than a theatre
Yeah.
company of adults. Like,
Yes.
Yes.
so there is that ebb and flow, I imagine.
We
I
were
was
also
watching. Sorry, go on.
No, we were also very aware that we didn't want them to stray away from the interpretation and overall meaning that we were holding to and that the vision that we had cast. So we were careful and had very clear boundaries around where they were allowed to have a little bit of scope
Yeah.
and where it was you have to say the line this way, and this is why.
Even up to
Yeah.
this is where you take a breath.
Yes, yes.
Because breathe, like I think, for our students, it's quite a mature concept
Yes.
to understand that breath is where we get our vulnerability from.
Yes.
And it is the character in the space. So, even Juliet taking that, like that gasp, that breath can tell you so much. And so making them really beat out every single moment.
Yeah.
Like our scripts were like lots of numbers, lots of counting. But
So cool.
it is like if you imagine the script, it's like on this word, that's one. At that point, this person is looking at this other character, and that person's turning away. At two, you're doing this, and we were. There wasn't a character on stage that didn't know where they were looking, where they were breathing.
Yeah.
Wow.
What they were saying, how they were doing that, because I think because it's Shakespeare and because it's so removed the language.
Yes.
You
You have to lock everything down, it sounds
have to
like.
be locked down. Otherwise, they just we all do it. Students, adults.
Yeah.
We operate on a let's make it sound pretty. Let's
Yeah.
build into the rhythm and the beautiful flow of the language instead of going, I actually have to stop here, and this is where I'm gritty. This is where I take a breath. This is my pause. This is where I rush in. This is where these moments are clipped.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you're really wearing two hats. I mean, you're always wearing two hats, but you are not just directing them like you might professionals, like you said, in a theatre company, but you're also teaching them the craft as you're teaching them all these, as you're giving them all these cues and giving them all the counts.
Yeah.
They're actually learning, that the weight in that breath that they might not have been aware
And
of.
there's a technical component to that. I still remember when I was in uni, I had the privilege of working with a theatre company and working alongside Penny Everingham, and she spoke to me really heavily about understanding that as an actor, it is your work. It is you have to build a technical approach to what you do. And at any point in time, yes, you're feeling the world of the character, but you are carefully articulating that line. You are purposefully slowing down at this point. You are meticulous in your movement, and it is metered and ruled out so that you've got to hold reality, the technical component, and the belief of the character in your body.
Yeah,
So
wow.
that's what you have to teach students, and that's they're two crazy worlds to operate.
To hold at the same time.
And then they go on and do another class.
Yes.
It's an incredible dynamic that you're they're coming in and out.
Yeah, or they're
of
going
this
home to do an
space.
assignment, or to go and work at Macca's, or I don't know, have a conversation with their girlfriend. Who knows?
Yeah.
And I think this is the beauty that I'm hearing in how you teach, is that you have a lot of understanding and grace for their whole world, not just the part that they show up for your class, which must make a huge difference. Yeah,
Oh,
I can hear the care coming out in your language.
Yeah, Claire and Lauren love their students, and the students know that. Like, they
Yeah.
know they're in safe space. They trust them. These guys can get these kids to do things that nobody else can get these kids to do. So it is, yes, it's beautiful to see what you guys do. I've had the privilege of seeing them do this at a few shows, because I've been in the background doing things, and it is amazing the respect that they, even though they're having fun, even though they're taking care of the fine details, this respect just comes naturally from all of their students. So well done.
Excellent leaders.
I was watching an interview between, the directors on directors or the actors on actors.
Oh, yes, off script.
Yeah. Greta Gerwig, is that how you say her
Oh,
name?
Yes.
yeah.
And James Cameron.
Is she?
And they were
She's
talking.
Little Women, isn't she?
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm.
Barbie.
And Barbie.
Oh yeah, Barbie. Yeah.
I am.
And is an actress in her own right. I've seen some of her early films.
Don't think I knew that.
Yep.
Well, they were talking about the beauty of working with highly intelligent, highly, professionals who have honed their skills. And they said, there's that point where you just hand over the character and trust it, to your actors. Obviously, you're still giving direction. Obviously, in the cutting room, you're making final decisions. But they were talking about that moment where they hand it over to the actors and they now own those characters.
Yeah.
Well,
And it's something that you guys don't really have. You can't fully trust because you're teaching at the same time and you have the constraints of, well, we still have to put a show on in 6 weeks now.
Mm.
So how do you, with the constraints, how do you gauge how much do I trust this kid with their interpretation of the character and how much do we just have to, this is the way you need to do it now because the show is on in next week?
I think that in the beginning, months before it ever hits students, there is an extraordinary amount of rumination that happens in the directorial, whatever the
Yeah.
collaboration looks like. Everything is figured out, and from the get-go, detail is given to the students. And yes, it's chunked down,
Yeah.
but you're helping them bit by bit understand the shape and the reason why the character makes the choices that they make
Yeah.
and why they react a certain way. And
Mm.
because you see the bigger picture, you're helping them to frame their reactions
Mm.
so that they align with what the other people are doing. It's not just about what this one person is doing in isolation. It has to be in relationship to the others. So I think that's part of it. And then you have students who get it very quickly.
Yeah.
And so then your role becomes a lot more of yes, exactly what you're doing there with that
Yeah.
physicality, but keep it
Great.
going. In this moment, just shift this slightly, or
Yeah.
can you make it look a little bit more like this? Or yes, but some people just get it.
Yeah.
Or bring a slightly different idea that ends up being a fantastic fit, and then it's you sort of metering it out. But from the beginning, everybody gets detail.
Yes.
So no one is ever left feeling
Like they're on a blank slate and they've just got to interpret.
and as soon as they start to take ownership of that, yes, it's encouraging and let's go deeper with that now.
Yeah.
Let's keep that pattern going so that
And
this world is
it is a
believable.
beautiful thing as well.
Yeah.
Like I think when
Mm.
you those students that are so passionate and that
Yeah.
just they get it and they know it. It's not like we're like, well, we're the leaders in the space and we're just gonna keep doing it our way.
Yeah.
No, I
Yeah.
think you definitely jump on
Yeah.
and also they can come up with better ideas than we can sometimes.
Yes.
It's not
Yeah.
just we're not the only creators.
We're
in the
not always
space.
like auteurs, So
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that would be part of the goal as well is I imagine is to get them to a space where they're feeling safe to explore and
Yeah, you want them
contribute
to.
and you want to empower them.
Absolutely, because then our responsibility shifts slightly as it gets closer to the show. There are different things that are happening in these roles. So you actually do want them to take the character, run with the character, be consistently seeking depth, so that you can move on to the next things. And yes, of course, there's always back and forward, and let's come back and refine that.
Yeah.
Um,
I think what you never let go of is the safety component. And I
Yes.
know when we looked at Romeo and Juliet, because
Yeah.
there's such heavy content, because there is intimacy
yeah,
in characters,
Mhm.
you have a huge responsibility to make
Yes.
sure that they're being safe and that they're not sort of delving into the character so much that
Absolutely.
they're losing themselves.
yes,
Yeah, well,
So that's always at the front of your
Yeah.
mind, and bringing them back to, okay, this is the overall vision. This is our overall
Yes.
meaning for this.
yes,
This is how you breathe into this moment. This is how you check out of a scene as well.
yes,
So
Wow.
even with especially with Romeo and Juliet, we had established with them right from the very beginning, this is the handshake that you do that says now you're in the scene. This is the handshake you do when you are yourselves again and you're
Wow.
out. You check out of that moment. So
I love that.
you have
Yeah.
to set up these parameters that go, this is the real world, this is
yes.
where you're
The world we're creating.
the world that we're creating. Yeah.
that is Very cool.
So you're working with a lot of emerging talent, and you you guys were also emerging once upon a time. What would you tell your own self about what to work on in your own rhythms and approach to creative expression? What tips would you give young Lauren, young Claire?
I think I would actually probably, as I don't know, as cliche as it sounds, like go for it, try
Yeah.
it, and
Take the risks.
take the risks, and be a part of projects. And it's not just try everything. When I was at university, our dean, Dr. Judith McLean, she spoke to us around orientation, and she basically said, as performers, we need to understand that whatever you put your name to actually does reflect you to a point. And if you just get up on stage and you just take a role because the role is there, and then you become a sellout. So it's
Wow.
it is the balance of going, I'm going to try it. I'm going to put myself out there,
Yeah.
but I'm going to put myself out there for the right projects. I'm going to maintain my sense of integrity and who I am, what I live for, what I stand by, what I believe, but also don't be afraid to, get in amongst the right things.
That's very good.
You're very good.
Wow. I'm back at you.
Okay.
So I would probably say to young Claire, go and see a lot of theatre.
Yes.
And that is
Yes,
that's
let's say that to everyone. I
Say to
think.
everyone,
Yes.
go
See
see-
theatre.
yeah,
Stop with the TikTok.
exactly. And
Yeah.
and be a reader, I think, and have an understanding of the historical contexts of things, and be very aware of the time period of everything that's happening when work is generated, and really
Wow.
seek to understand the depth of things. Particularly for
Yeah.
us, where we're putting works on for a student, it's really important that we teach them how to do the research.
Yes.
And so I would say that to my own self, that time spent understanding the world of the play is never wasted. Oh, and I would say to young Claire that nothing's wasted. That even
Yes.
if it doesn't
Love
make
that.
it into whatever the final project is, or even if it's learning that's just for learning's sake,
Yeah.
it's not wasted. The amount of skills that we have learned, or or things that we have developed, that have come back.
Yeah, we've
through very-
reused it in another production or
That's
another.
it. That's
Yeah.
it. Is
And
very
that's applicable
nothing's
Yeah,
wasted.
it's your
to
toolkit.
so many all the art forms.
Yep.
Yeah.
Nothing's wasted. You're learning all the time as you're trying things, taking the risks, even through the failures. You're constantly learning.
That's
Yeah.
it.
That's great advice.
Yeah.
What matters most on opening night? What's the end goal?
That nobody dies. No.
That's
Everyday end goal. Everyday end goal.
that the show is completed. I think for
Yes.
me, that the show doesn't stop and everything works. That the things that are supposed to
Yeah.
move in the right time.
Yeah.
That just the technical things happen, and that the kids remember their lines and tell the story is probably my opening night
Yes,
thing.
absolutely. It's me.
So-
It's my turn. I just
Looking forward. What did you say?
I said I agree with what she said.
What's a creative project you'd love to tackle but haven't yet? Like, what's on the one-day list?
Oh, that is hard because I'm really, really glad that we tackled Shakespeare
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
also that we got to be self-indulgent and put ourselves in a show.
Yes.
Yes. We joke every now and then about, let's get a podcast happening, but
Ooh. Seeing too many podcasts. Why would you do that?
We'll let you take
you
the
do
market
that.
for now.
Yeah.
I think
No, do it. I would listen.
we have
Absolutely.
a very good
Absolutely.
idea. I think I love your idea, the creative
And that's a
wrestle.
good one.
We definitely relate to that.
idea.
Don't worry, we're not taking it.
No.
We're not going to make a podcast.
2.0.
The creative wrestler.
That's a different website. I don't recommend you.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it is about trusting that there could be something on the horizon and being ready to do it if it happens. I know that when we did Godspell, when
Another great one of theirs.
when the show was pitched to us, so we had Robbie Parkin, he directed, and we were
So good.
number 1 and 2
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
worked alongside him. When he came to us and he said, "This is the show that I want to work with you on," we said, "Yeah, I don't know about that. That's not really going to. I don't know how that's going to fly." And
Because there are
Robbie,
different.
sorry,
It's controversial, that one.
it is. It can be how it's
Yeah.
interpreted. So it can be done in a context that is, I guess, very sacrilegious.
Yep.
But we knew Robbie, and we knew that he's such an honourable man,
Yes.
and he's honourable, and he can sell ice to Eskimos.
Yes.
So two great traits
Yes.
in somebody that's about to make a show happen.
Yes.
So anyways, the show started. We started the process, and very quickly, we saw that you just actually have to lean in, and it
Yes.
was a great experience.
Yeah.
Probably, I think, one of my best experiences in terms of working with a creative team. And just getting to work with somebody who, like Robbie, had been in the industry.
Yeah.
So rubbing shoulders
so many
with
decades.
him and seeing, actually, some of my ideas he likes, and we all are creatives in this space, whether we've been in a professional sense or we're in a school where we all have something to bring. But anyways, that's like a major segue. All that to say, I think what we have spoken to our students a lot about is you can have an idea of what a project is going to be, but if you actually believe in the process and you lean into it, you can create something. And I think I have that heavy belief that at some point there will be something that we can do that will be the thing we need to lean into.
Yes.
And because we've done that along the way,
Yeah.
it can happen again.
Yeah.
Great.
So I loved hearing about these exit handshakes. What do you both do to switch off at the end of the day?
We hug
Because
for
I
10
can.
minutes. No, I'm kidding.
What's that?
We embrace.
You hug. Oh,
Good joke.
so that must regulate your heartbeats to each other, because mother and children do that to regulate heartbeats in our home. You reset that way. Okay, that's good.
Skin to skin.
Only sometimes.
We'll take that out.
Only on every
Controversial.
No,
but honestly, how do you kind of say, okay, this is, because it sounds like you have lots of out of hours phone conversations. How do you both kind of switch off into your own kind of play mode, rest mode, reset mode? Or is that something I need to coach you on?
I probably need to coach us on that.
Yes.
I think you just know that you're in it for the season.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
And there are times where you go, okay, right now I need to be at a football match watching 6-year-olds play a game of football and be totally immersed in that moment.
Yeah.
Because that's your son. But I just think it's not so much from this time to this time I'm going to be out of it.
Yeah.
I think it's, okay, I need this breather. I'm going to go and have a bath. I'm going to go for a run. I'm going to put my phone in that other room and talk to my husband. But I don't know about you, but I'm not regimented in this is the time that I need.
Yeah.
I think it's being self-aware enough to go, okay, at this point I just need to step away.
It's energy more than time.
Yes.
So it's not stipulated by time. It's when your energy needs a reset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very good.
Because you can be energized by the ideas that are happening, and then you might hit a slump. And I think that's why a lot of our major projects happen. We start the process in the year before.
Yes.
And all of those amazing holidays that teachers get.
Mythbust.
We spend that time ruminating. We will have a book by our bed, and if an idea comes at 3 a.m, we write it down. We'll go, okay, I've got half an hour on the holidays here before I'm taking old mate to their party with all their buddies. I'm going to just sit down and think and process. So I think that's how you sort of get wise with not burning yourself out, is by starting the process as soon as you can. so that
Mhm.
you can have time to energize and you can go,
Yeah.
okay, this is my moment where I've got freedom to think about it, and then in the pressure zones I can grab this snippet of time. Yeah.
Mm.
So you start before it's urgent and important.
Yes.
You're starting before it's the deadline,
Yeah,
way before.
absolutely.
That's great.
Because
That's great.
ideas take time, and
Mm.
you have to be prepared to. Another university lecturer, she would always talk about being prepared to murder your darlings. So you have
Yeah.
these great ideas, but
Yep.
your first ideas are not the ideas that you're going to finish with.
Yeah.
So you have to have time to have those ideas, have the other ideas, and have
Yeah.
the other ones that actually get you to the final project or product. And
Yeah.
be prepared to go, I let this idea go, I move on to this, and that is time.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Finally, what are you guys listening to? What are you consuming that's fun, enjoyable, like podcasts, TV, music?
Yeah, we're podcasters. We do listen to it. Yeah.
We do. We do listen to podcasts.
Is it true crime? I don't know whether
Yes.
it is.
Right at the demographic for true crime. Of course it
Absolutely.
is.
And also, is it only Murders in the Building? Do you tack that on as well?
Okay, so
Okay.
Claire put me onto this, but I'm sorry, Claire, but
No,
it's
go
true.
for it.
It's true. She did. It's her fault. It's a podcast called Red Handed, and they're these two British women that talk about crime like it's like over a cup of tea, and so they will. They're
Like murders.
they're incredibly knowledgeable, but it would be like, oh my gosh, what's he thinking? And just like take you into the
What I
world.
think that they're really good at
Yeah.
is the honourable storytelling.
Yes.
And it's the storytelling of these things, these terrible things that have happened to people,
yeah,
and the justice that happens at the end.
it's also the
So-
funny part.
Yeah, they're funny. They're
I knew there was a yes and.
Yeah.
I can see it on your face.
Yeah. Claire's trying to be nice and I agree with you, Claire. It's honoring
But it's
the
also
stories.
but they're
But
funny.
Some
Yeah.
things are like,
Yeah.
it's all hindsight, and they're beautiful thing. Like, don't go walking in a bush by yourselves with no
Yeah.
cell phone and no,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Have you heard of it? Have you heard of Red Handed?
I haven't heard it.
This sounds familiar to me. I think maybe I won't dob another friend in, but I feel like another friend has told me this.
Okay.
I'm not into crime stuff.
I can't do
It's
it. I get
too
too scared.
I
Fair
am.
Listen,
it
but
needs
don't
to be.
judge. That's
Yeah.
my advice.
Yeah.
We're Amy Poehler fans, so we
Yes!
constantly
Have
talking about.
Have you listened to her podcast with Aubrey Plaza?
Yes.
I was listening to it, and when you go, I have just got this stupid smile on my face.
Oh,
No
I
one's
was
going to
the same when
why.
she. Oh, I'm gonna the Severance guy. I always forget his
Oh,
name.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. I think I watched it 3 times.
I've
Yeah.
edited it twice as well.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd for me.
I love Paul Rudd slapping
In
the
my
big
head, Paul Rudd is a brother of mine. Like
Yes.
he's literally in our family. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be nice to see him at Christmas, but he doesn't actually exist in our family. But in my mind, it's like, oh, I haven't seen you in ages, Paul. It's so nice to see you with my friend Amy Poehler.
Yes.
I've inserted myself into their
Like, don't they
friendship
understand that we would be great
We'd
friends?
be great friends.
circle. They are absolutely invited to everything. Like,
Yes. Just bring
She
them
hasn't
on.
responded
Yes.
to the invite to this pod yet, but
yeah,
it's her time.
Okay. Time will tell.
she will.
Just tell her I sent you. So
That'll do it.
Mention my name.
yeah, but she is great. She's so I don't know, so funny, and I think that's definitely the podcast to listen to if you want to learn the process. We were talking about that the other day.
Yes. Yeah.
And have a laugh. And if you're a Parks and Recreation fan,
Yeah.
then you're at a good place. You're in a good place.
It's just bonus. Everything's a bonus.
Yeah.
So good.
So good. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thanks for having us.
It has been fun.
This has been the best. I think I'm becoming a drama teacher now. You've inspired me.
Yes.
Just the layers of fabulousness, all of the skill involved, but so much leadership, and you just obviously have such a safe space. But in your dynamic and for the young people, it's very inspiring.
It is.
Thank you.
Girls. Thank you. Thanks for having us on your pod.
Absolutely.
I was going to say your little pod, but it's not a little pod. It's a big
Yeah.
pod that's going to grow up to have pod baby.
I like big pods, and I cannot lie.
Some other pods can deny. So,
Yes.
you know.
Very good.
Yeah.
Welcome to the B-side.
What a great episode that was. I am
So good.
So good.
Yeah, I'm so inspired by Lauren and Claire. I have to say, I
And
remember.
a fun bunch.
Yes, they are such a fun bunch, and I think everyone would want to be on the Lauren and Claire crew. I think for me, the standout was the sense of what matters on opening night, and the fact that the show must go on, and we've done all the prep, we've lived this for months. If there's a few things that go wrong, we're going to stay calm, we're going to stay up, we're going to stick together, we're going to have each other's backs. And I just think that was just a great visual model for life,
Yes.
This
Yes,
is what's
my
going on.
takeaway-
We're going to band together.
And they do band together.
Yes.
They're two halves of a whole. I love being able to see them in action at work and working with students. They really are. They're just two halves of a whole, and they've obviously worked out the dynamics of that collaboration in leadership, and they're able to bounce off one another, but also they bring the fun together. Like I know how much they talk about them, keeping the morale high and being aware of when it's dropping and when you need to, bring some fun in. And I think that's something that they do really well. And I think that's part of why they're so well respected with the students.
Yes.
It's so true. It's that culture, like they're very intentional about, and whether they're like actively always thinking about it or it's just something that naturally comes from them. Like they're setting this standard of this is the culture where, we're all here, we've all got a thing to do, we're all in having fun. It seems to be very front of mind for them, and making sure that everyone is happy and enjoying themselves, but also but let's, we've got something that we're going to work towards, that we're going to achieve together, and we're going to really enjoy it. And I just love that they sort of they just spark that I just want to go for it, and I want to do my best that I can, but it's okay that things just things happen, life happens, and so but it's this it's inspiring.
It is inspiring. And I think to that point, Nate, fun is high, but vision's high as well. There is a goal. There is something at the end of this. We are aiming for something. I loved how they also talked about the drama aspect and the arts aspect isn't the students' only scheduled activity. They're juggling a lot of things, and so they're very aware that when they come into the classroom, into the space, they need to help them transition into that space. And I just thought that was fantastic. Nate, what did you think about students taking risks? Is this something you experienced in your
definitely.
either
I think
school or
Yeah, no, absolutely. I love it, and them teaching people to take risks, because especially in creativity, it's something a lot of creative people strive to do. Or actually, I would probably say it's something that some creatives do, but a lot of people are scared to do it as well, because obviously a risk is a risk. It could fail. What if? And as creatives, or at least for myself, you're always your own worst critic, and so you don't want to. You want to sort of play it safe and go, well, I know what formula will work and will get me through and will get me this result. Anything outside that can be scary. But the fact that they're teaching students to take risks and hey, it's okay. Let's go out on a limb here and let's try. And you know what? It doesn't always work. But the fact that you did that is, I think for me now, I've grown to a stage where it's taking a risk and it not quite working out for me personally in my own development is so much more so much more of a success for me than sort of just doing the same old tried and true, I know
That's
this
part
will
of the
work, and just
win.
getting a job done.
And part of their leadership style is that they make it a safe space to take risks. Because they are so encouraging
Absolutely.
and so uplifting, and they see the gift that the students got, and they speak to it, and they create that space that is fun, safe, keeping the main thing at the same time. And that's something I've actually seen in your leadership over the years, Renee, is you keep the fun there. You're always good for a laugh. You've got the main thing. You're always you're still leading, but Talk about how you do that.
That's so kind. Thank you. I do keep that in mind. My husband is a huge maker of fun as well, and I see that in his leadership, and he actually models that for me as well. We have a bit of a healthy competition around humor and fun, but on that's just actually sparked a memory. I don't know if you know this, but my lovely granddad, so my father's father, was a comedian in war times, and so he was actually paid and a professional comedian and would entertain the troops here in Australia and travel around, and that's where he met my lovely grandma Beryl, and she was a dancer and part of the entertainment schedule for all the troops. And so I actually, I come from a teaching and a pastoral family, but really another element of us is we come from entertaining and humour. And I think that lovely sense of wit has reached me in some way. And I just enjoy banter and a laugh. If someone doesn't have the skill of banter and does not bring banter to the table, I don't trust them. I'm like, what's happening there? Like,
I love
where's your fun button?
Where's your fun button?
You're not
I love
funny.
I love that even in wartime, they saw the importance of that. They saw the importance
Absolutely.
of keeping morale high, which circles back to that other point they were
Yes.
making. But how important it is to have the humour in there and morale high, have the arts in there. That was so valuable in a time where only the important things were kept.
Absolutely. And it was absolutely core. And that is the Australian spirit as well. That is part of, I think, the Australian culture is, yes, very, very serious, but also like, let's not take it too seriously, which crazy. It's wartime. So, yeah, we can definitely take a note from that.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love exactly what you said, just but like that importance of that humor in leadership. But then it's not even just in the leadership. It's obviously just they embody it. It's their life. And even like I'd say the same for yourself to, jump on Lauren's point, like Renee, you're just naturally a funny person, which I wish I could say the same about myself. But it's not like which is, a testament to yourself and even to like Lauren, Claire and some of the other people that we're listening to, like they're naturally funny people, but it's just who they are. It's not this facade that they put on only when they're in that leadership role and all eyes on them. It's like, okay, I've, got to tell a joke or two to build that trust. It's that building that camaraderie, like behind the scenes as well. And they've just naturally like, they're this they've made themselves approachable and relatable and like, oh, you're a safe person to be around.
Yes. And I want to build on that slightly, Nathan, because I think that's brilliant what you said is you can't kind of force fun as well because people pick it up if it's not authentic. And so more than fun, I think safe environments is or in parallel to fun, safe environments are so key. We talk a fair bit in business about psychologically safe spaces, like building a container where people can feel safe. And that's a huge need in people. If you think of the Maslow hierarchy of needs, there's shelter, there's security, and to feel secure. And I think that's what leaders like Lauren and Claire do is they help make you feel secure so that you are then able to explore kind of your identity in the arts and how you express that. And I'm sure, Lauren, you've had that experience as well. I think that's
definitely.
You talk about that a bit in your when you were in the program in school, is the sense of taking risks.
Yes,
just
that safety, that ability, that inspiration to just go for something. And then if you're feeling too safe, they'll prank you, and that that's great too.
That's right, exactly. Very inspiring. Great chatting, guys.
Bye.
See ya.
Thank you for listening to The Creative Wrestle.
Don't forget to subscribe, find us on socials, and share with your friends.